Your boy Heaven Hollywood for the IE Network, and this is the Heaven Hollywood Report. And I knew it. I knew it. They were just trying to wait around and make something happen, and I knew it would happen. So, the track and field sensation, Sha'Cari Richardson, who a lot of people have dubbed her as the new FloJo. This generation FloJo. I mean, breaking all the records, was breaking FloJo's records, and everyone was hyped up about her with the Olympics coming up. Now, all of a sudden, once she was breaking those records and everybody was calling her the new FloJo, then all of a sudden, some old tweets come out from Sha'Cari Richardson. I believe they were like homophobic tweets. There were tweets about Lil Nas X, I believe, or something like that. But I believe they're like homophobic tweets. Now, all of a sudden now, she's getting ready to go to the Tokyo Olympics. She fails a test. She fails a drug test for cannabis. So that's basically marijuana. Now, marijuana is not a performance-enhancing drug. But let me tell you why Sha'Cari is going through these things right now. Now, FloJo, if you're not familiar with her, she was back in the Olympics. I'm going to say it was 86 Olympics or maybe 90. I'm not sure. But it was somewhere around there. 86, in the late 80s, early 90s. And she took the world by storm. She was she was fashionable while she was running track. She had the long, colorful nails. Was running with the nails and the long, natural, bushy hair. So, FloJo was on right. And of course, she was very, very muscular. Now, a lot of people, started to say the same way how they talked about Serena Williams. Started saying, oh, this woman has to be on drugs. And they, from that point forward, they tried, and they started trying to find things wrong with FloJo, whose name was Florence Griffith Joyner. So there's not been a buzz, and of course FloJo ended up, tragically passing away a few years later. Well, not a few years later, but many years later, about maybe 15, 20 years later, and they said it was from a seizure. She had having seizures, and she died in her sleep or what have you. And a lot of people tried to tie that to steroids or what have you. Trying to say, yeah, because she was taking performance-enhancing drugs all those years, even though she never failed a test. So everyone was saying, well, you know what? Even though we don't believe FloJo was taking drugs, there's always going to be a little bit of, not really an asterisk, but thoughts about, was Florence Joyner on drugs? They didn't have these thoughts at all with Sha'Cari Richardson. Now, all of a sudden, after these tweets emerge out of nowhere, now we have this. She failed a drug test for cannabis, which is not a performance-enhancing drug. I'm going to say this to Sha'Cari Richardson and to a lot of the other young black entertainers, athletes, what have you. Man, when you become famous, the first thing you need to do is hire you a social media beast that can go back and delete all of your tweets and posts. That should be their only job. Don't have them doing anything else. Say, listen, I hired you. I don't care who calls you. I don't care nothing. Keep working. Make sure you get rid of every single thing I've ever tweeted up till today. And I'm just going to start my account over because what they're trying to do is get things out of her past. Then it's going to give her a checkered presence. And I mean, I'm not so sure. I'm buying that she failed the test. I'm sure that Sha'Cari Richardson is smarter than that. And I believe they're doing what they've always done. They want to throw her off her game. They do not want a woman of color, setting more records. They want Florence Joyner's records to stand because they always have that glimmer of doubt formed by people. They wouldn't have that with Sha'Cari Richardson. So that's why they want Florence Joyner's numbers to stand, because they can always, if a white woman ever comes close to it, they can always then say, well, we're removing Florence Joyner. We came to the conclusion that she was using performing arts and drugs. And then they're going to put who they want, in that slot. So Sha'Cari Richardson is now out of the Tokyo Olympics. You see? Is what they wanted. She, dubbed the new Flojo, fails a drug test for cannabis, during the U.S. trials, and is set to miss the Tokyo Olympics. So, oh boy, shout out to Sha'Cari Richardson's comeback better than ever. You got to get rid of social media, past and present. I'm sorry. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood for the IE Network. Please like, comment, and subscribe these videos and share them with your friends.